Jesus knows. Let's talk about it. Jesus. Coffee. Let's talk about what Jesus knows. So yesterday we talked about how Jesus was God with human limitations. As he was walking this earth, he felt what we felt. What he had to endure, what we endured. He endured the whole human experience. Well, I want to talk about the rest of the whole human experience. We talk about what he encountered. Today I want to talk about how he knows everything we go through. He knows everything we feel. All of the horrible things that we feel, he knows. Good morning, Janice. And I want to go through Hebrews and talk about this. I love this passage in Hebrews. I'm actually going to go through Hebrews 4, 14 through 16. I wasn't just going to do 15 and 16, but I like 14. I want to kind of set it off. So this is really all about the compassion of Jesus, how he is our compassionate high priest. And Jesus really is a high priest. In the Bible, he was not only a high priest, but a king. And that's really what he is. He is our high priest and our king. So, seeing then that we have a great high priest who passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our confession. In other words, let us continue to confess. Hold fast means do it. For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, as we talked about yesterday, but was in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. So Jesus is compassionate. He knows. He's felt what we feel. Experienced all of the human things that we dealt with. Hunger, pain, being tired, having to learn, all of that. I don't need to do another whole video on that. We did that yesterday. But I want to talk about what he experienced and felt. He knows our sufferings, guys. And that's really what that passage is talking about. We don't have a high priest who can't sympathize with our weaknesses. We know what it feels like to endure horrible things. We know what it feels like to be betrayed, because we've been betrayed in our lives. Good morning, Six. I was often a betrayer. Not proud of it, but it's who I am. So therefore, many people that I crossed their paths suffered and encountered betrayal. He was betrayed with a kiss. Think about that. Let that one sit in. He was betrayed with a kiss. He knows abandonment. So when we're abandoned, he knows what it feels like to be abandoned, because he was abandoned. He knows what it's like to be denied. So when we're with somebody and they deny us, he knows what that was like. Good morning. Good morning, Felipe. My brother Jude. Jesus was denied 3 times by his apostle. He knows what it feels like. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning, Christina. He knows what it feels like to be falsely accused. when we're falsely accused of something, he knows what that's like. He was falsely accused. Those false accusations led him to the cross, led him to have his back ripped open when he was scourged. By his stripes we're healed. He knows that. He knows what we feel like when we're in our lowest, when we're hurting. He knows, and he can sympathize with us. He knows the whole human experience. Not only everything we feel physically, but he knows everything we suffer with emotionally. Because he's encountered it all. So, and what does he do? How does he respond to everything we suffer with? He gives grace and mercy. He says, look, I know what you're going through. I've been abandoned. I've been denied. I've been betrayed. I know what that feels like. No, you're right. You're exactly right. Nobody understands like him because he's been there. And he doesn't go, well, let me tell you about the time I did it. No. Matthew 11:28, what's he say? Come to me. Come to me, all who are heavy laden and burdened, and I will give you rest. Don't go it alone. Don't try and do this alone. I know what it's like. I've been there. I've done that. But I got you, child. You're my child. I have you. Take my yoke upon you. For I am humble and lowly in heart. He didn't come say, well, of course, I know it all. I've been through it all. Don't tell me about it. No. He says, come. There's nothing he doesn't know about us. He knows everything we feel. You know what he wants? He wants us to bring it to him and say, look, Lord, I don't like this. Whatever this is, I don't like it. I don't understand why I'm enduring it. I don't like it. But thank you. That's the part that blows him away. Thank you. That's the part that he wants. Thank you that I get to endure it. You don't have to do anything. You get to. We get to endure that pain. It's part of growth. So when we're going through that abandonment, that betrayal, that what we're going through in that moment, those false accusations, what we're going through, he's already felt it. And he says, I know my son, I know my daughter, I know, I've got you. That's the beautiful thing. We get to come boldly before the throne of grace. And we get to be given the two most beautiful gifts there are, grace and mercy. Yes, he knows everything about us. He knows everything we're going to say. And you know the beautiful thing is, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow. We're going to talk about being transformed tomorrow. So, but he knows, and he tells us how we overcome those things. We take our thoughts captive. When we're going through something and our flesh wants to let stuff go out the mouth, because what's in the heart comes out the mouth. What comes out of the mouth is the overflowing what's in the heart. But our desires start right here. We get to lock them down and capture them. We'll talk about that on Friday. We'll talk about taking things captive on Friday. So he knows, guys. And it's a beautiful thing, because don't feel like you're bringing something foreign to him. When you're bringing it to him, he already knows about it. He's encountered it. He feels it. So who better to bring it to than somebody who can empathize what you're going through? Somebody who can empathize with what you're feeling. Don't hold on to it. Give it to him. Take it to the foot of the cross and give it to him. Talk to him. Prayer. Come to him and just have a conversation and say, you know what? You know what, Dad? I don't like this. I don't like this. Help me with this. And he will. You pray within his will, he's gonna answer that prayer. Show me my heart, Lord. I had a beautiful conversation with a brother last night that was telling me how he struggles with something. And I said, so pray. Show me my heart, Lord. Because what's he want? What's the only thing he wants from us, guys? There's only one thing he wants from us. He gives us a robe of righteousness. He gives us eternal life. And the only thing he wants from us is right here. He wants our heart. So when you come to him and you ask him, show me my heart, Lord. Show me my heart. Have a notebook and a pen ready and just sit in quiet time. And what hits your mind after you pray to him and you ask him to show you your heart, write it down. Journal it. He's going to show you your heart. What you do with what he shows you is up to you. But he knows what you're going through. So I love you guys like crazy. He loves you with a love that's incomprehensible. So we'll be back tomorrow with talking about transformation. Love you guys.